as cricket is concerned. Now, this according to Pakistan's Geo News, we are learning that the Pakistan government has formed a committee headed by its Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari for the deliberations over Pakistan's participation in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023, which is being hosted by India. This is the latest that we are bringing to you, and this committee will be headed by Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari for further deliberations over Pakistan's participation in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup of 2023. For more details, Shivani Gupta joins me on the phone line. Shivani, this news comes soon after we were learning that Pakistan had signed a participation agreement as well. Could you throw more light on what is the conundrum?
Yes, so even if the Pakistani media is reporting that the government has formed this panel because the PCP asked them for clearing their trip to India for the World Cup, you're very right, Akansha, that the ICC has already mentioned how Pakistan has already agreed to participate in this World Cup. This is something that is done well in advance, and at that had not said that there is any contingency on them participating in the World Cup. And there will be many consequences for them if they rescind their agreement to play in the World Cup. There will be both financial and other costs involved. So as far as the government forming this panel is concerned, it could be a little bit of posturing because Pakistan and the PCB has been making noises on the fact that they don't want to play in India, or they will only come to India if India allows the Asia Cup before that to happen in Pakistan and play in Pakistan, or at least work out a formula where others can play in Pakistan, which the ACC is not agreed to. Then they've also objected to some of the venues. They objected to Mumbai. Their request was taken care of. They objected to playing in Ahmedabad, but that the ICC did not clear because there was no reason for denying to play in Ahmedabad. So now this is happening. So there's been a build-up to this kind of posturing happening first from the PCB and now from the government itself. And we know contextually the relationship between the two countries. And whether this move is going to be successful or not is time can tell. But if the Pakistan government, for example, creates any roadblocks for the Pakistan team to come to India and participate in the World Cup, there will be very heavy consequences for Pakistan cricket. So it could well be they're forming this committee, but they might still give them the clearance. It could just be posturing for the time. But if they don't give the clearance, or if they make sure that the Pakistan team doesn't come to India for the World Cup, eventual loser will be Pakistan cricket only.
Absolutely. In fact, Anand Narasimhan also joins me on the phone line. Anand, there's been a lot of back and forth, as was also being highlighted by Shivani. Last week, in fact, there was a letter written to the Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, and the cricket regulatory body had requested approval for Pakistan's participation. Could you take us through what has been happening on this front in the past few days?
Well, there has been a lot of churn about, even within the PCB. It has seen some chiefs come and go within the last 10 to 12 months. But more importantly, one must note that at the SCO meeting, recently concluded virtual meeting, Shehbaz Sharif was present. He did attend. And the conversation was veered around peace and trade and prosperity between the two nations. Clearly, trade is important, vital. And they know very well that ties with India need to move towards normalcy rather than further souring of equations. And like Shivani was saying, if Pakistan refuses to travel to India for the World Cup, it will not only have repercussions for Pakistan cricket overall, but it will have further geopolitical repercussions for Pakistan, because then there is no way that India is going to allow even a semblance of the peace pipe to be smoked. And Pakistan is already staring at defaulting on its payments, and that IMF loan of about $3 billion, which is due for it, all could not come at all, no matter what its considerations. So somewhere, but the question is also that between now and October, there could be a lot that could happen in Pakistan also politically. Now, if Imran Khan stands arrested, if the PTI stands banned from all elections, if the Supreme Court of Pakistan, there are a lot of wheels within wheels here, clears the decks for election sometime in December, then, and Nawaz Sharif comes back into Pakistan, then things could take a different turn altogether, and you would see the clearance happening and Pakistan team traveling. They may have certain reservations about certain venues, but I think even that now has been cleared. and said that no, wherever the team is supposed to play, you will have to play. So the players are very keen to come to India. It's all also about the money. Big monies are due for the PCB, and it will also enrich their coffers if they come and play in India and play in the World Cup. So
because Anand, in 2016, the Pakistan team, in fact, even conducted a security check in India, and that is when Pakistan's match against India from Dharamshala was shifted to Kolkata for security reasons. Is there a probability that similar recommendations may be paid heed to even this time round?
This time around, nothing of that seems to happen because Pakistan's presence itself is limited to only 5 venues.
Right.
And ICC has discussed India is going to be playing at 9 venues. India is traveling the maximum amongst all teams, traveling internally around 9,800 kilometers. Pakistan is going to be kept limited to only about 5 venues. These venues have already been discussed and cleared via back channel. So this is like more posturing, and there is no way that they can say that we will not travel for the World Cup, because this is too big for them to miss.
All right. I'm also joined in by Omar Altaf, who's a Pakistani journalist, and many thanks to you, Omar, for joining in. What has prompted this decision, Omar Altaf, as far as this entire committee is concerned?